Right, so Arch is noticing something really interesting here. The fact that the left can't stop siding with demons. And for those of you that pay attention on the internet, you would notice that in the last couple of years, there have been a lot of individuals that are siding with characters that are designed to be irredeemably evil. Characters like the Tyranids, characters like the Forces of Chaos, characters like the Bugs from Starship Troopers, Orcs from Dungeons and Dragons, Dark Elves. Like, no matter how evil the character is designed to be, no matter how sadistic, how irredeemable, even if it's like a monster like the Tyranids, you will notice that a lot of people are siding with them. And they're saying, well, actually, they have a point, and the humans are the ones that are bad. And so when you look at the ideology that these people have, it's predominantly leftist. And so you have to wonder, like, why is this the case? And do they only apply this mindset to fiction, or they apply it to real-life events? And when you look, you notice in horror that some people do apply this mindset to real-life events. For instance, when they show compassion to criminals. They will consider that a criminal is almost always a victim of society, and so he shouldn't be punished, or if he is punished, it should be a slap on the wrist. And with this mindset, you realize that the only actual victims are the victims of the said criminal. And it creates societies that are dangerous places to live in, societies that foster dissent rather than unity and cohesion, societies that only benefits the ruling class because people are now divided and it's a lot more easy to control them. And so the ideology that does this, unfortunately, it's pushed in universities, it's acceptable on social media, it's promoted in society, and it's a incredibly harmful ideology. And so we need to ask, it's like, how do they come to the rationalization that you should side with the demons? And there's many reasons for it from their ideological framework. I think the first one is to understand how the ideology gets propagated. The way that people who are into woke ideology, the way they believe and the way they understand the world, is not by trying to understand different societies, different cultures, and then comparing them. The way they understand it is through critical theory. In other words, they take the culture that they're in and they hyper-criticize it. And if it doesn't stand the status of perfection, if the society still has problems, they decide that the society is evil. And so if the society is evil, then everything that was done up until now, which is rooted in tradition, it's rooted in heritage, everything that was done must also be evil. And so if you reverse the morality, then you may actually change society from evil to good. And so if humans are evil, then Tyranids must be good. It's literally that simple. If we had the society that had law and order, then criminals must be good and law and order must be bad. Defund the police. And all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Like, if you unironically believe that the society you live in is evil, then the simplistic mindset would be that, okay, well, if we reverse everything, we reverse every principle, we reverse everything we believe in, then surely we create a good society. And the reality is not really like that. Most of the things on planet Earth don't work in the binary. They work based on context. And they work based on understanding the thing rather than applying a good and evil thing to it, if that makes any sense. And so, is a criminal a victim of society? Well, it depends on context, depends on the criminal, which is why the police doesn't punish him on the spot, but instead they send him to a trial while he's being judged by a jury of his own peers, and based on the individual criminal, the context in which he committed the crime, the things that he did, he may be found guilty, and once guilty, there is a specific sentence which applies to the individual criminal in question. There is no black and white, there is no absolute. There is context. And even when the police finds a guy, the police can be executioners on the spot. Is that good or bad? Well, it depends on the context. If they find a person that pulled out the gun on the police officer or another person and they shoot him, Yeah, sure, like the police are judge, jury, and executioners on the spot, but the context justifies it because that person was a danger to society. If not, the person gets taken to a trial, and based on the context, based on what they did. But you realize that social justice activists do not judge based on context. They judge on moral absolutes. They hate the inner self. They hate their own group. They hate their own nation state. They hate everything that their state produces. And so they must love everything that's foreign. They must love everything that's not traditional. They must love everything that's coming from abroad. And so if you have a battle between humanity and the Tyranids, they will always side with the Tyranids. But V, you said the things are contextual. Are you saying that the Tyranids are a moral absolute? It depends on the context. You know, like if you can use the Tyranids to destroy a planet of works, like within that context, as you're directing the hive towards the planet of works, yes, like the Tyranids can actually be used for good within that context. After that, context changes. They're bad. Like this is a better mindset to have. I think it's a lot more healthy mindset because reality is filled with shades of gray and it's not just like black and white. Now there can be certain things that 99.9% of the time or even 100% of the time are always black or are always white. But that doesn't hurt if you assess it based on context every single time. Like every single time you assess based on context the thing that's 100% evil, you will always get the context that it's evil, right? It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make that my system is bad. But it's not the system that the social justice activists operate. Like, within their framework, the people from Starship Troopers are always evil. Like, the Federation, throughout the entire movie, is evil because it's fascist. That's it. That's their understanding. That's how they view it. And so, if the Federation is fascist, then the bugs must be good. Anything that fights against the Federation, whether they're the forces of Slanesh, whether they're Chaos Demons, it doesn't fucking matter. And so this is why they can't stop siding with demons, because the demons constantly fight against the humans. They constantly fight against the fascists, and so the demons must be good. It's really that binary. It's like a very simple mindset that a medieval superstitious peasant would have. Like if a medieval superstitious peasant was to encounter the supernatural, let's say he encounters a mermaid or a kitsune or some shit. Never saw one before, but they realize it's otherworldly. What the fuck is that? And his frame of reference would be like, okay, does it come from God or not? If it comes from God, then it's divine. If it doesn't come from God, then it's from Satan. That's it. There's no in between. There's no neutral. No. And if it's divine, then it's always good. It always does good. There's no exception. Right? Think Lady of the Lake from Arthur. If it's not divine, then it always does evil. It always deceives. It always tempts. It always tries to do evil. There is no in between. Now, with this mindset, you understand how the social justice activist thinks. Except they don't think in the terms of God and Satan. They think in the terms of anti-fascist and fascist. There is no in between. If you're not anti-fascist, then you're a fascist or fascist adjacent or or whatever. You're either with their ideology or you're against it. There's no middle ground. There's no neutrality. If you're neutral, you're a fascist. And so with this mindset, right, like what is anti-fascist? Well, anti-fascist is anything that goes against tradition, anything that's foreign, exotic, everything that's not with them, right? So if the humans are fighting the Tyranids, well, the humans are the tradition. They're the benign. They're the mundane. And so the Tyranids are the exotic, they're the foreign, they're the anti-fascist. Like literally that simple. That's how they make the decision. Like a superstitious medieval peasant drunk on Kool-Aid. Never applying context, never, trying to judge, well, hold on, like what's the situation, what? And so, yeah, they will side with Slanesh, they will side with anything because, well, the empire is fascist. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.